During quarantine of 2020, two things were happening in the world around me. One, our country was going through a racial reconciling in the wake of George Floyd's murder. And two, my wife and I, we were pregnant with our first child. And in this moment, I realized I'm gonna have to teach my black son about police. And I didn't know how. I began a journey of talking to people on both sides of this thin blue line, and we were talking about the relationship between black people and police. And what I really learned is we need to have a conversation about safety. So we all got into the studio a couple months ago and kind of said, what can we do? And so we're on stage, we're using the stage as a thrust with the audience on three sides, and we're just investigating how do you put a hip hop musician, a jazz musician, an actor, playwright, and two dancers on stage at the same time? And what does that mean? What kind of world does it open up? I just had this feeling that this wasn't supposed to be primarily a dance piece, that was supposed to intersect in all these spaces, because all these spaces is where this conversation needs to be happening. And it's really interesting because we're having conversations that me as a choreographer and a dancer, I don't normally have, because I'm in a space with different types of people. And it's also really interesting because you have someone like Flacco who's never been in a dance studio until this project. So he brings a completely different vantage point on the space, how we use time and music. Same with Chris, same with Maya and Kevin. And really, we're kind of winging it during rehearsal and seeing what can we create together that really hits home and finds an emotional truth about this topic that we feel is authentic to the five of us and that we hope will feel authentic to the audience.
Black Lives Matter!
Just days after 25-year-old Jalen Walker was shot and killed by police, protesters took to the streets to demand answers.
Why would y'all do this? That's all I want to know. That's all we want to know. Why?
Justice for Jalen.
Protesters asking for accountability and transparency, demanding answers as to why dozens of shots were fired at Walker.
But this is beyond wrong. Beyond wrong.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
So today is the first day I've been in the studio since June.
How do you feel? Like, can you feel anything different in your body or even in your mindset and how you want to approach things?
Yeah, so I had knee surgery in August,
Right.
too. Mm-hmm. And like, so it's weird because my knee's this is the second time I had knee surgery in the last 7 years. And the first time I was obviously 7 years younger, and I can tell now I was younger. But also there's like, I don't dance 18 to 20 hours a week anymore. So like, I got this knee surgery, I gotta take care of my body, but like, how do you do that when you're not in the studio as much as you used to? Mm-hmm. So like, the space between the time I'm in the studio is larger, so every time I get in the studio, it feels like I'm reintroducing myself back to my body.
Right.
But today, it's weird because it's like, I can tell that quad isn't fully like back yet. So like, I feel a little bit of that like nervousness about like, I wanna hurt myself again, you know what I mean? So like, I have a little bit of fear going in today.